Good afternoon, everyone, the panelists and the audience throughout the world. I'm so happy to have a chance to talk about the Japanese situation of heated tobacco products. Let me start right away. Like in many other countries throughout the world, the smoking is the biggest cause of death or this serious diseases. And the data I'm showing here is a little bit old of year 2007, but just less than a million deaths of this year. 130,000 deaths are caused by smoking, followed by hypertension or diabetes or alcoholism or whatever. So this is a big issue, as many other countries. And following this trend, it is still growing after year 2007, as you can see in the year 2010. And I found out the report in the Lancet recently that this number has still increasing in Japan as well. And for the smoking rate, if we're talking about the Japan's case, we were kind of retarded in the past, let's say 30 years ago compared to the Western countries. But we are catching up these days and reducing the smoking rate quite a bit, and the average is 18% right now. I mean, the recent data. And if you see the economic impact of the smoking, there is some positive effect due to the tax income. If you see this one in the year 2005, 2.8 trillion yen. But if you see the negative part of the economic impact of smoking itself, it's much bigger than the income, as you can see here. And I have been involved with the smoking cessation program clinically until actually 8 years ago for 5 years, because I was head of the small clinic in Tokyo. And I tried so hard to make the smokers to stop smoking. And this program, 5 times, doctor visit, and for 3 months, I had a good result of continuation rate better than the national, average. This one is 47%, but in my clinic was 60%. But in 1 year, the result became awful. Like the half of the smokers who stopped smoking started smoking again just in 1 year. So it's so sad and disappointed. But around that time, the heated tobacco product has been launched in Japan, IQOS by Philip Morris International, Glow and British American Tobacco, and Plumtech and Japan Tobacco Company. And this has a very interesting impact in Japanese smoking situation. And if you see that this is a quite recent data of year 2019, and the switching rate for smoking, the left side graph is the male average, and the female average on the right side. For the male, it's 27%, and for female, 25% of the smoker has been switched to the heated tobacco products from the cigarette smoking, which is really supposed to be good. And if you are thinking about, if the company is saying that it's a safer product as, cigarette compared to cigarette, you may worried about the increase of smoking rate, but it's still reducing. If you can see compared to the one I showed in the year 2016. In 3 years, it's still reducing. So average is 16% the smoking rate. And if you see the sales of cigarette itself, it's quite interesting because this, you can see the black line, these consumption of cigarettes is still reducing. But because of the launch of this 3 heated tobacco product, the consumption of cigarette is reducing this way, as you can see in the red line, and which has been a very interesting phenomenon. And I was asked many, people from abroad, why is this happening? But this could be a good trend if you can see the thinking about harm reduction. But some of the people are worried about isn't any intended use like dual usage with cigarettes or intention of initiation of non-smokers or relapse or reinitiation of ex-smokers. And the younger generation may start, smoking. And when they say the companies are telling that the toxins of the smoke is reduced in the heated tobacco product, is the data reliable or not? And talking about the dual use, there has been a survey of men and women, and it's been only that 20% of the smoker, those who are using both cigarettes and heated tobacco products. And the reinitiation was also, according to the survey, very few, even for the those who haven't ever smoked using IQOS is very few, as you can see in the right side. And the reinitiation is also very few, like less than 1% of smokers reinitiated smoking. And as what they call a gateway effect for the younger generation to start smoking because of this, harm reduction products. There has been a survey by Dr. Osaki of Tottori University, supported by the government, and he did a survey for junior high school and high school students of 64,000, sample, and there has been no increase of even normal cigarettes or heated tobacco, and you can have some e-cigarettes in Japan, if you import it privately, and there's no increase of these products because of this. And for the data reliability, you may worried about, or you can be suspicious about it, but there's a third-party analysis of data of toxicity, toxins contained in the heated tobacco product has been proved to be almost the same that with the data of tobacco company have revealing. So these data are reliable as well. And there's a specific characteristic of regulation in Japan, because the normal tobacco cigarettes are controlled by the Ministry of Finance, mainly because of the tax related problems. But if you try to produce more, or I would say less harmful products like e-cigarettes, vapor type of stuff, they would think it's the part of the drug, because vapor is a nicotine solved in the water or whatever, liquid. So if we try to launch the e-cigarette in Japan, you have to deal with Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, which has more strict regulations to control these materials. So 3 major companies are reluctant to launch the vapor type of product these days. However, there has been an environmental change in Japan, partly because we were supposed to have the Tokyo Olympic last year, which has been postponed this year because of COVID. But there has been a difference of differentiating the tobacco, let's say heated tobacco products, the cigarette smoking. You can use heated tobacco in this restaurant, but not the cigarettes, like you can see in the less one. So there's a differentiation by the government as well. So as a conclusion, ever since the 2014, the 3 heated tobacco products has been launched, and this is dominating the tobacco smokers' habit. And in 4 years, tobacco sale has been decreasing quite a bit because of this. And many people ask me why, and probably partly because e-cigarettes are not launched or admitted in Japan, and heated tobacco products is the only thing we can have as a harmless stuff. And Japanese people are very worried about the social courtesy of awareness, like passive smoking or many ashes or risk of children's burn due to the cigarettes. And many Japanese health conscious. As you can see, we are checking them and health almost every year, supported by the office. And the other thing is also Tokyo Olympic, which has been postponed this year, but the Tokyo metropolitan government are trying so hard to make the Tokyo area smokeless. So, as I showed, the HTPs are not causing initiation or gateway phenomenon in younger generation in Japan, and don't attract the former new never smokers. And heated tobacco products can be the alternative to cigarette by contributing the harm reduction of smoking to those who cannot quit smoking, and yet possibly could be the step toward smoking cessation. Thank you for your attention.